Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first day of our session of blended learning. We've put together a 3-day plan for all educators for learning, a distance learning toolkit, student assessment toolkit, student learning, and eventually how to grade and evaluate them. Let's face it, in the virtual world we are in today, we have to get used to this new form of life now. As in, we are getting more and more comfortable with the format, many classes, learnings, quiz, and assessments will move online forever in the future India. Before we start the session and we welcome our guests for today as well, let's please all stand for the national anthem. Once again, I welcome you all back to this international seminar and program on learning how to grade students and create a classroom. I want to update you about a few things that MakkSkills has been doing for the last week and a half. We've taught more than 700 students in the last 1.5 weeks. Students, when I say students, I mean educators, educators who have learned how to take their classes online, educators who have learned how to conduct classes on Zoom, educators who have also learned with us over the last 1 week how to take a Google Classroom to be able to create designs and much more. There are a lot of courses that we already done, and we're starting a new international program today. We're very excited about it. Today, we have as a guest Professor Tony. Tony ma'am has been a volunteer teacher since she was 8. Isn't that amazing? She's also worked as a full-time teacher here in India under India's education campaign, Teach for India. She's also taught at Risk Kids in Melbourne, Australia, and currently she's signing in from Netherlands. Over to you, Professor Tony. Just a moment, Professor Tony. I think we can't hear you. Just a moment. You are muted. Just give us a second. We're trying to unmute you. Are you able to unmute yourself from your end? Okay, just a moment. I'm going to unmute you. There you go. Hi.
All right.
Okay, wonderful.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's 8:30 in the morning in Netherlands here on a Saturday. So I hope it's been worth it for you guys to join in here for us. As MakkSkills said, I have been a teacher for some time, and One of the things I've noticed is over time, since I started in 2006, a lot of stuff has started moving online. Virtual classrooms are the new reality. And of course, the whole Corona situation has really added to that. Um, I'm not sure how the situation in India is anymore, but here it is very normal for students to submit class assignments online where the teacher grades them and sends them back. And I think this is something that has really helped because students have more time and leeway, and teachers can design more interesting and interactive assignments on the subject. Uh, but one of the situations that does occur, it does put some more pressure on parents. So, as educators, it is also for us to design it in a way that parents can make sense out of it. For instance, I work here with expat parents, parents who are not Dutch, but the children are in Dutch schools. So, how do we design assignments that parents for whom the language is not correct, for whom it is not the native language, can still help their children do the assignments properly? That's one of the issues that I feel that is going to be very important. The other thing is how to make sure that children also get online learning and hands-on learning, because online learning scientifically has shown that it is not sufficient to build all the skills necessary. A lot of learning that our brain does happens through hands-on learning, from actually doing the work with our hands and our pens and our paper. So that's something teachers have to make sure that the balance is correct on that. That's pretty much all I have for today, but I would love to hear your guys' opinions and questions on this subject, if that's okay with Max Skills. Max Skills?
Wonderful. Thank you,
Would
Professor Tony. We're also going live on YouTube alongside, so we're looking forward to hearing some comments coming in there. If there's anything, we'll like to bring you back in some time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that would be absolutely great.
Great. So thank you so much. Grateful for you to join us today. MakkSkills creates programs for principals, educators, and all professors. Once again, welcome back to our session today. We're going to be teaching Edmodo, a free social learning network for teachers and students. One of the most important part of a school is to set up a classroom, and with Edmodo, the same can be done. In today's session, I will be teaching you how to create an Edmodo classroom and customize it for your needs and those of your students. I'm going to take you straight in for a presentation. I hope you all can see my screen now. I'm going to take you through some basics of Edmodo and what really Edmodo is. Some of you might have heard of it, and many might not have heard of it either. Edmodo. Edmodo is a space that allows you to create a virtual classroom. It is making our entire classroom format much easier only virtually. So the only difference is you're not taking a bag and entering a class, but you have everything online here. You have a folder, you have everything that you have in a class bag here for you, in front of you, in your classroom. So for a teacher, she can create assignments, she can create folders for everyone to see, she can get opinions, she can host a quiz, and for students, they can gain all that knowledge while they are in class. Well, what is Edmodo? It is a free social learning network for teachers, students, and schools. It provides an engaging platform for blended learning, which is what we called our entire course which is what we called our entire course this week, blended learning and a flipped classroom, because we're going to teach you how Edmodo allows a teacher to flip her classroom and teach all the students within the class. It is a safe, productive social networking format for colleges, schools, and any educational institute. Founded in late 2008, it's now transforming classrooms for millions of users worldwide. Now, when you bring a class, when you have a college, you have an institution, we always have security because we're trying to keep the children safe and teach them in a safe learning environment. Edmodo does the same for you on an online space. Edmodo is a safe and easy way to connect, exchange ideas, share contact, access homework, grades, school notices. It is exactly like putting a school or a college on a website, making it easier for everyone to access it. Before I go straight to Google Chrome or your Internet Explorer to take you through the entire login process, I want to tell you that the teacher view at Edmodo and the student view is different. Here in the teacher view, she can see who are the students. As you can see right in the middle, it says students. Who are the students a part of this? If there are any parents also that can be a part of this. So parents have a login as well. You can, of course, there are children who can be as young as kindergarten who can be in Edmodo. So of course, their parents need to have a parents login as well so that they can see what is going on. And even a class grade 8 or a college student can have a parent profile, as in their parent can have their parent profile, right? So as a teacher, here are my members, here are my students, here are some of the groups that I've created and all the classwork. This is just a quick view. We will be taking you on to the main Internet Explorer page and showing you everything there. Here is the student view. Now, this is a student profile and it talks about the classes that you have. So it says my classes and under it says world history, American literature, etc. On the right side, it tells you what all is the upcoming. So it's like a notice board, upcoming quiz on so-and-so, a project. The Catcher in the Rye is a book. So, there's a project upcoming for that. So it tells you about what is upcoming. You can interact with your teachers in the more easier way as you do in class. Coming back to security once again, because it is an important concern when parents and teachers put children on a web platform. Security is a very, very important need for them. So Edmodo provides a closed environment, no private information required from students. You don't even have to put your email address. So it's as simple as that. Students can join by invitation of the teacher only. So if I'm a teacher, I will send you a code and you will be able to log in from that code. So all the students that I would like in my class will have that. So if you feel a lot of students are not, attending their lectures or doing their homeworks on time, you can tell them you're not going to get the code. It's almost like telling a student to stand outside of class because you'll not give them the code. So it is in the hands of the teacher to share the code with those students who are supposed to be in that class. All communications are archived and teacher has the full management control. You all as educators, as professors, as principals, the control will be in your hands of what the children see, what are the folders that have access to them, and what is the questions that you want to address to them. Taking you down. I hope I'm not going too fast. There is something I want to tell you that Edmodo has two kinds of things. So there is something called a class that you can create. And I will come back to this presentation and this slide after I take you again into the Edmodo interface. So you have something called classes. Classes are used for your classroom with the students. However, a group can be used for any teacher-to-teacher collaboration as well. So let's say you're the principal and you want to sit with the 4 English teachers in your group to work out some, a conversation, a speech that has to be, shared by an important person coming into your organization. So you can, as a principal, as a professor, create a group with those 4 teachers. So classes are for children. Groups can also be, a group can be made with a 9th grade student, with a college student, and many students together like that. And groups can also be made with teachers. So a group is not a class, just to give you a clarity on that. Classes are the dedicated space to engage your students and keep them informed. So if it's a math class or an advertisement class or an MBA class, that is your class, and the class will have your students and you interact with them on class material and study material. Groups are created like, I'll give you a simple example. If you were to have, and I mentioned this earlier as well, if you were to have a specific, graduation ceremony maybe in your college, and you want 4 students as like maybe the head boy or the college, representatives to be a part of it, 4 other teachers, 4 other students, they all can make a group and they are having a group conversation about a certain topic. It doesn't have to, it can be across grades. So that's not a problem at all. Once again, coming back to classes, within a class, it is possible to send notes, quizzes, and assignments, and even polls. Like I said earlier, groups are a dedicated place for teachers. They can be teacher groups, professional development, teacher training, which is an important factor today, because today all the teachers are also learning and upgrading to newer formats of teaching. So a group can be made with all the other teachers for a new learning, and a video can be shared with all the other teachers in that group in itself. So children have nothing to do with that group. Again, the control is completely on the professor, on the principal, on the teacher, whoever is opening the Edmodo platform. So today we're going to learn the Edmodo interface, how to create classes in groups, student and teacher interface. I'm going to show you both students. So I'm going to log in as a student, I'm going to log in as a teacher, and I'm going to show you how it looks for both, and polls and quizzes as well. So you're going to get a full idea. I'm going to teach you a little more than that, but this is only to give you an idea. So I'm going to take you straight to edmodo.com. Allow me to stop the share and start a new screen, please. Okay, so here we are, Edmodo. So I am already logged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out. And straight away head to a plain page of edmodo.com. Let us try to sign up as a new user. Okay, so I'm a teacher, so I'm going to try and select, I'm going to select the teacher account. There's also an option of a student account. I did mention that earlier. We're going to come to that later. And a parent account. So if this is a classroom that is set up for third class, third grade, or for a ninth grade, and you feel the need to have a parent account, you are free to do so, and you will be added as a parent for that. So any information that the teacher needs to pass to you as a parent will be provided to you. As a parent, you cannot see every class, in terms of you cannot see what education is going through in the class, but whatever the teacher does allow you, you have the right to see it. So I'm going to sign in as a teacher account. So here is what you can see, the teacher account, and I'm going to click on it. Okay, so let's get you started for a teacher account setup. All you need to do is put in an email address and a password and create your account. So I'm going to try and put an ID that I have access to right now, and I've put in a password. It says it's a bit weak, but I'm not going to change that. I'm showing you this training is hands-on. So if anybody would like to, open your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome and start with edmodo.com with me, I'm going to take you step by step, hands-on training through the entire interface. So please feel free to do this with me right now. I am sort of flipping the classroom for you all to learn, as you will for your own students. So I have just put in an email address and a password, and I've created an account. It's as simple as that. You don't have to link your accounts. Since it is a teaching format, I'm going to let it save my password. I wouldn't usually do that. It says, welcome to Edmodo. Let's get you set up. What name would you like for your profile? So I'm going to say I'm Dr. Rao. I'm Dr. Miloni Rao. Okay, that's my name. And here it is. I mean, that's not really my name. I'm just taking as an example. So here I am. I'm in Dr. Miloni Rao's profile. I'm here once again as a teacher. It does ask me to verify my email address, and I'm going to do that soon. I hope it doesn't block me from doing things till then. So here I am. I can click on Dr. Miloni Rao, and I am telling myself, everyone, a little about me. If you want to add social links, you can. A lot of teachers and professors are on Twitter sharing their thoughts and links. You can link those social media as well. It is perfectly all right. Twitter is a conversation platform, so it's okay. I wouldn't recommend you do it with your private Facebook or Instagram profiles, but of course the control is in your hand. So here it is. I can upload a photo. That's as simple as that it gets. It's asking me to put in my password once again. I'm going to do that. Password is verified. Now I can upload any photograph that I'd like. So I'm going to do this with you. You can take a personalized avatar for, that the options are here, but I'm going to stick to a human face. Okay, so I'm going to click here, upload a photo, and let me see if I have saved any photos that I can put here. Okay, so I'm going to put an Einstein photo here. It should be my own photo, but I'm going to, or if I can take Professor Tony's photo, I can take her permission for just putting her photo up here for a moment, only to show you. And I'll say update. So I've put in a picture of myself as a teacher. Yeah, so this is going to be updated and I can close it. Okay, great. It's going to get uploaded anytime soon, right? Add students. If anything I want to add in my profile, I can. Don't worry about the picture. I need to probably just refresh and it'll come back again. Add your school, add a profile picture, add a bio. So as a teacher, it'll be always good to say a little something about yourself. So I've been teaching since 1984 and I have headed primary section of SK Academy and Institute, etc. However it is that you want to write about yourself in the section. Okay, only visible to you. It says your interests are only visible to you. So you can add an interest if you're a science teacher or a maths teacher. Let's say you're a world language teacher and I'm going to save that interest. It's only visible to me. It's not something that everyone can see. Experience. Now, this is something like a LinkedIn profile wherein you're writing about your experience of what it is that is your professional experience. So other teachers can also view and see what your experience looks like. Again, I said other teachers who are a part of your group. This is not open to the world and public. If you have a schedule, this is where you enter your schedule to share with your students. So you can say, class period 1, subject science, building room 20, and hours will be, let's say 12. I'm going to delete the building room because I don't really immediately need it, but I'm going to write a random number there just to showcase this. Links if I want to add any. So I'm going to get out of the profile. As you see, it is here. I'm going to go back to when I click on Edmodo or when I click on going home. It's like going entering into college. So you've gotten out of a class and you're entering college. So this is your college or this is your school, right? Now I'm going to go to classes. So on the left side, you can see my classes. You can create a class. Let's name a class. Let's say we're going to do science. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to teach you all of this on another format wherein I've already created 2 classes. So at least a little bit of your work will be simpler. So I'm going to sign out of this account only to showcase to you. I'm going to show you how to make a class, but I'm just going to try to do it in a way that I've already have at least 2-3 classes. So I'm back on the profile that I'd already created of Mac Education, and I have created 2 classes here. But I'm going to say this once again. This is my profile. I can write whatever I'd like here in terms of what is it that is about me, my image, my picture, my educational qualifications, if you'd like to, whatever it is that you'd like to fill in your profile. So I've not filled in too much here in the profile. I've put in a picture, I've not written the bio, and all of this is for you all to see. You all will be able to do it on your own time. Okay, my classes. Now it says English and Science. So I'm just going to click on the 3 dots next to my classes. I hope you all can see my screen clearly. And I'm going to create a class. Name your class. Just a moment, please. Name your class. So let's say we're going to make it literature or math because we already made an English class. Math. Describe your class. Integration advanced. So let's say that's what our course is going to really be about. Select a grade. Integration comes in grade 11. Of course, so let me show you these options once again. Kindergarten, grade 1 to 12, higher education, and then adult education. So since I'm creating math for integration, I'm going to put in 11th grade. Subject is going to come under mathematics, and you can do a sub-subject. So this is a little more, advanced. So it's not basic math. I'm going to put it in calculus, and I'm going to change the color of this to a yellow. So here's my class, and I'm going to click on create. Now, if you see over here, it's going to, okay, it says welcome to math. So I've just created a class. It's asking me, what is it that you want to do next? I'd say I'd like to add a student. So here are some options that you can invite a student with first name, last name, and email. Email is recommended because that's how they will get the detail that you're inviting them to class. So if you have a long list, you could either do that. Alternatively, the option I do really like is adding a student with a code, and I'm going to come to that. Explore class. Check out class features before adding a student. student. So I'm going to see what is it that the class already has. And let me call the students when I have a little material put in the class. So it's like, let me write on the blackboard so that when they come in, I straight away start from educating them, right? So this is the class code that I was referring to. Class code 963 and 3 alphabets. Here, 3 letters to call a student into your class. So you can give them the class code and ask them to join a class. So it's okay if you have a class of 25 children or 2 students don't understand the class and they want to do it again. You can always create a class, especially for the 2 of them, give them a class code and tell the 2 of them to join again. So class code is also very helpful. Both options are in front of you. You can either invite them by email address or you can invite them by giving them this class code. Okay, so this is my class. This is my math class. I can start a discussion here. So let's say I want to talk about who invented zero. Just everyone. Who invented zero can either be a question or I can post this question, who invented zero? And I'm going to show you the student view of how this looks as well. So I've posted one thing to my math class, who invented zero, and I want to start another discussion. Now, when I click on the post right here, where it says start a discussion, class, share class material, etc., I can create a poll as well. So I'm going to create a poll and I'm going to say, what is the poll question? How many zeros are there in 40 crores? Okay, I'm going to give an option of 5, 7, add another option, 4, 8. Let's say these are my 4 options and this is the poll I want to create and I want them to give an answer. So here it is, as simple as it is. I've clicked on the post. It looks a lot like a Facebook page, but it's a teacher's Facebook page for her students. So under math education, under my class math, I decided to write a post where I've already asked who invented zero, and then I've asked a poll question: how many zeros are there in 40 crores? And I'm going to post this. Okay, you all can see. So I have posted 2 things before the students log in. Now I'm going to just take a pen and a paper and I'm going to write down this code. Just a moment, please. Or I'm going to find a way to copy the class code. So I've copied this class code. Once again, I'm going to show you this. I wanted to copy the code to be able to send it to my students. So I've clicked on class code. Right next to the code, it says copy. So it's copied onto your clipboard. You can invite by email still if you'd like to. You can invite by email here. For example, I can send an email. There it is. And I can send an email, as simple as that. Or I can invite by code. Invitations have been sent. Now, I'm going to log in as a student. So I'm going to sign out from here for a bit and show you how I'm entering the math class and how it's looking there. So I'm going to just sign out here and show you the student view. Sign up. I'm a new student. I want to sign up. Student account. To sign up for a student account, you don't even need email address. You can just have your first name, last name, and then you can just enter with the code. So I'm going to say I am Alia Agarwal, and I have this class code, which I've posted here. Group code is valid. Okay, so I'm going to make my name Alia A. It's taken. It's also taken. I'm going to have to take a name like Alia Agar because that's a username that's available. So I don't even need to have an email address. I can have a password here. And I'm going to put in a password and I'm ready to go, Alia Agarwal. And what I needed for sure as a student was one group code from a teacher so I can enter the class. I'm not going to save this for now. So here I am. And let's see what are the class available to me. Enter your parents' mobile number. You can, or you don't have to. You can skip it, or you can put in the mobile number or email address. Else you can skip that option. Here I am. So if you see on the left, my classes already, it reflects that math is one of my classes. And right here in front of me, it says Mac Education posted to math, which is the class. How many zeros are there in 40 crores? So I'm going to select 7 and I'll say vote. So as a student, I've got this option. And of course, since nobody else has voted, It's showing 100% code only by my vote. So as a student, so Alia has put in 7. So you can write a comment also if you'd like. And also I can see that MakkSkills has posted the math who invented 0. So I can write my answer here, whoever it is, I think it is, and I comment on it. Okay. At this point, I can also add an image, but the question doesn't demand it, so I don't have to. And right here is another link where I can add from my backpack. So like we talked about how Edmodo is really a virtual school and it seems like you're actually entering a college. So in Edmodo, you have a very interesting feature where it says backpack. So what all do you have in your backpack, which is like a bag for you? I'm going to come to that later. So this was just to show you the student interface. But since I'm talking to all educators, professors, principals from across the country and abroad, I would like to tell you that I'm going to go back to the teacher's profile for all of you. So this was just to give you an idea. As a student, if I created my profile, I entered the code that you wanted me to. I've entered the code and I have access to just those classes. I need a code to have those classes on my banner on the left. And therefore, a teacher has all the controls. If you don't give a code to Alia, she will not be able to access your class, and it is for you to decide. So like I said, if a student is not performing and you need to tell them you need to be out of class, you can just simply not give them the code. So I'm going to log back in from the teacher account I was on. I hope you all can see my screen clearly. Here we are. Okay. So, the screen comes up again and again. So I'd like to let you know what this is about before I go further ahead. Personalize your Edmodo experience, which is wonderful because every app, every website nowadays wants to try and get to understand what we prefer and we like. So it just helps because it then shows us options like that. So let's say I'm primarily a math teacher. So I'm going to click math as my interest. And this is something that's only shown to me. It's not something that's shown to all the students. So my interest is only shown to me and it shows here on the left my hashtags. I can add more hashtags. So let's say I want to add a hashtag about more advanced math, or I also want to teach younger class about another topic. I can always add that hashtag. And those popular conversations, as you can see right here, how can you send a voice message through? There's an article about something that has the hashtag math. So Edmodo is trying to make it a personalized experience and understand what is it that you have interests in and tell you what is trending in this conversation, which is wonderful. So in a way, and as we said in the beginning of the class, it is extremely like a Facebook form. When I click on Edmodo, I go home. Remember, I'm going back and I'm entering college. Only once I click on a class is when I'm actually inside the classroom. So, you have to imagine that visual that when I enter Edmodo, I'm opening the gates of the college or the institute. And when I click on English, for example, I am in my classroom, right? So I've entered the doors of my classroom. Okay. Coming back to the poll that I'd created, the reason it's showing on the answer 700%, because only Alia has attempted this. I was just I created a mock to just show you. Alia has attempted this and she has answered this, and therefore it's 100% because there's only one person who's attempted the whole thing. So here it is. It shows me the poll results. And here, if Alia had answered this, I would get the comment right here. I can always write back saying the right answer is, you know, whatever it is, right? Whatever, depending on your question, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now as you go below, you can see some post by Fabian. Now, Fabian, why is Fabian post come to you? You must be wondering. It's because you showed your interest in math. Now, this is your profile, and you can get information on what other teachers across the world are posting. So here is a teacher, Fabian. It sounds like he's probably from Spain, who has put in a video and hashtag math. Now, see the kind of access Admodo gives you on an international and national scale. You can be, connected to any teacher. You might be writing a post about, let's say, if in this post itself, I'm going to write that again. In the same post that I created a poll and I'm writing as a post, I write hashtag math and I post this. It's going to take a second. You have to know that anybody who's shown interest in math as a subject is going to get to see this. So that's what happens, because the post will be seen by any teacher in Edmodo. If I select that, which is probably what Fabian did, he selected that visible to any teacher in Edmodo. So this post then is a public post, and Fabian can also see it because his interest also lies in math. If you only want to show it to your connections, you can. So I select my connections and I post it. So it gives you the way you can filter your post, decide where you want to send it to, and it says Mac Education posted to MakkSkills Education Connections, right? And this has been posted to so many people. It's like it's a privacy setting. Okay. So I'm going to go to the English class. I taught you how to create a class. I can show it to you one more time. Just give me a second. I'm going to go back and tell you how did we create a class one more time. For teachers, it's the most important thing. Uh, so my classes, there will be nothing for the first time that you come into your interface. You can just go on the three dots, name your class, physical education, for example. Describe your class, select the grade it's for. Maybe it's for higher education, and it's for vocational studies, and change the color to a blue and create a class. So it's as simple as that. Now, I'm going to add the students later. What I also can do is I can go to any class. So I'm going to click on my classes. Now, there are two subjects that by mistake have got the same color. So I can go back to my science class and change that detail. So I can add an image. There are three dots here, and they're advanced settings. In my advanced settings, I can change anything I'd like. I can change the topic of my class. I can change the class it has to go to. Subject details also I can change. This will be primarily used with students, yes, and the description that I had written. And I'm going to save the class, right? So just a moment. I don't think we were able to change the color right now, and I can teach you that once again. Change class color, right? So I'm going to change the class color to purple. And that's it. I'm going to go back to my classes once again. Now there are 4 classes that I've created. I'm going to a little more detail into my class to teach you a little more about Edmodo's classes. So I'm going to enter my English class. Okay. Now, as you see, there's an image in the background. How did I get that? I click, it was blank a minute ago, and I click on it, and I can either create assignment, load assignment, create a quiz, or load an existing quiz, or I can click on the 3 dots and change class image. So for example, in the math class, there was nothing, right? So this is how it will look. Add class image. You can add a class image, and I'm going to go to the specific folder I'd created with a few pictures of children here. Here's my class image. I hope you all like it, and I'm going to save it. Of course, they don't look like 11th graders, but it is only to give you an idea. So I've added a class image. Now, this entire process that we're doing, to teach you Edmodo is primarily to make you comfortable with classroom learning. Now, this is a format of virtual classroom learning. We're trying to teach you a blended classroom learning so that you and your children, all your students can engage, be it students or be it other teachers. I'm going to come to groups in just a minute. I hope you're enjoying this hands-on training with me. I've added a picture of math of my class here. I can click on the 3 dots and see what all options it gives me. Change class image, remove class image, change class color, invite people, or some other advanced settings. Here, within Maths, I can create assignments, load existing assignments, create a quiz, and load an existing quiz. Okay. I'm going to go to my English class back now and see. Here's my English class. Okay. Now, this is something I posted yesterday so that you all can see it and I don't have to do it again. MakkSkills Education posted to English. What do you think of chapter 1? Now, here the comments of the students is going to start rolling in. Maybe some students have different views about it, but it's important as teachers to know what they're all thinking. So what happens is in a format like Zoom, when you're teaching, it's wonderful that the whole class is there commenting together. But sometimes for a teacher, it becomes a little hectic that all the children are here talking, speaking up together. So when I write a post, all my students can write their comments in peace, and I can know exactly how they feel about the first chapter, for instance. Here. Now, I'm going to go to I am going to start a discussion here, share class material. So earlier in the math class, I showed you how when we write a comment, there's an option where people can post, their students can post about what they feel about it, or they can answer, or I can even create a poll. We've done that. So what I'm going to try and show you now is how to attach a file and images. So I've clicked on this and I want to show everyone, let's say this picture. Okay, it's a play by Einstein. Here, sorry, by Shakespeare, my bad. Here is an image of Shakespeare. Hope you all know him well. Please name 5 plays written by him. In brackets, no 2 answers can be the same. So if I have a class, now Shakespeare has written so many plays. Maybe I can make this 3 because there are at least 33 plays that Shakespeare has written. And I can tell, and I can post this, and I can make sure that children have to really, find out and research and study and come back to us and tell us some of the names. Now, some names are already written here in this image, Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet. So I want to make it interactive. I've posted an image, and now my students need to come back to me and tell me different plays written by Shakespeare. Now, with a class strength of about 11 students, within 10 minutes, you'll see that you have the 33 plays of Shakespeare already mentioned here. It's something that the others can do as well. So everyone gets that knowledge together. So it's like posting a notice board, that everyone can see and gain knowledge together, which is wonderful. So here was a way that I posted a picture and I wrote a question. Another thing I can talk about, share class material. So I'm going to try here, format text and schedule a post. So I can always say schedule this. So at night, if I'm working as a teacher, I can say, let me schedule a post for 9 a.m. and I want the answers by 10 o'clock. I'm going to schedule a post. I'm now going to post a video, and I got a science video. So I'm going to go to my science page. Okay, so I hope everyone's got an idea here. When I click on a post, I can either write a post, I can either create a poll, post a photo, post a video, and check on what my students want to reply. Again, only those who are in this English class will be able to access that. Nobody else will, because you've given your code to your students. Now I'm going to go back to your classes, which is my classes, and I'm going to go to science. I haven't added an image here, but I've given you that idea. So here I'm going to start a discussion by putting up a video. Fun science video for children. Okay, the size is too big. Okay, so these are also errors that come in, that you can post a video, but if the size is too big, it might not be able to take it. So we need to compress the video, there are a lot of options to compress files online. I'm not going to get into that, but as a science project, I can also, for example, share best. I want to tell my students who are in grade 12, best college for science today. Today in Spain, Moto Institute of Science. So here it is that I want to tell my students now, where my students are from grade 12, they're looking at colleges, for various cities in India and abroad. And I want to send them a picture of a college, which it has been, as per business standard, declared the best school for science. So here I'm giving them a knowledge which is not directly related to my class, in the sense that it is not a subject matter, but it is information that I'd like to give them, to tell them that the best college for science today is in Spain, and it's called the Hermoto Institute of Science. It is something I'm adding to their interest profile, because we're all talking about science here. Now, your subjects could be many, your grades could be many. We've come to that. I'm going to go back to the homepage once again. I also want to show you groups in just a moment. So here we are at our page as a professor. You have a few classes here. I've shown you how to create a class, how to send a class code or invite by email. Do remember that the students will need a code to enter in, even if they don't have an email address. It is perfectly fine. They'll need to have the class code to be able to enter the class. Okay, so we've created 4 classes here. we've created a poll, put in a talked about, bringing conversation between the children, opened a question to many. So I can see my profile here as MakkSkills. I have posted to my as a teacher, which is this is a teacher profile. Let's say Mrs. Rao. Now Mrs. Rao has posted to her science group this picture. Mrs. Rao has posted this to her English page, and so whatever it is that I'm posting to various me as a teacher, I'm posting to various groups or classes is going to be mentioned here on my profile. Okay. Now coming to groups, and I'm going to take you back to the screen share where I talk to you about groups and classes. Just a moment, please. Okay, just a moment. Here it is. I hope you all can see the presentation right now. I'm taking you back to where we told you about classes and groups. Here we are. Can you all see on the screen classes and groups? Classes, like we just taught, I wanted to bring you back to this page only to teach you once again that classes are used for your classroom with students, which we've understood by now. Class is the dedicated space to engage your students and also keep the parents informed. But like I said, that is an option, which is optional. You don't always have to. Within your class, it is possible to send notes, quizzes, assignments, and polls to your students. We've shown you all. We've written, a note about the Spanish school. We've done a quiz where I've asked how many zeros are there, and that was a poll that we created. That was a poll. So I'm going to show you the quiz as well in just a moment. I can put in an assignment and poll to all my students. What we're going to do now, I'm going to show you the quiz and an assignment detail as well. And then we're going to move to groups. So I'm going to come back right here to sharing screen of here. Here we are back. And I'm going to show you how within a class, I'm going to be able to start a quiz. Here it is. Okay. So let's create a quiz first and then we'll create an assignment. Here we are, quiz details. Best stories written by Rabindranath Tagore. Or we can just call it Stories by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, right? Okay, so instructions, what are the quiz details are you must have detailed knowledge about Tagore's um, poems and written work to be able to attempt this well. So this is just my instruction that I've given out to my students that you will need to, have good knowledge of Tagore's poems to be able to attempt this quiz well. Here, and on the left, it says quiz details, quiz questions, multiple choice. I'm going to give multiple choice. How many poems were written book? Sorry, this I'm going to leave the name blank, or whichever it is. Yeah. So, or I'm just going to call it something. This is only for, this is, I'm not putting factual information here. Bengal today. Okay, for example, how many poems are written in his book Bengal Today? Enter an answer. This is a multiple choice. I'm going to say 4, 7 to 23. However, so this is a quiz that I've just attached here. See, quiz is where once you create a quiz, you as a teacher can also then assess it. Poll is an open platform, right? Just to give you an idea. Add a link, attach a file, or add any information from the library that you'd like to. You have the option now grading. I'm going to say this is going to be 10 points out of your complete grading of 1,000 points. Very important fact for a teacher right here. I'm going to add another question, or I might even have a question bank ready, and I'm going to make it a fill in the blanks, for example. Okay. And I'm going to ask you a question about when was Rabindranath Tagore born? Fill in the blanks. Okay, so Rabindranath Tagore was born in the year dash, right? And they will enter the answer right here. Okay, so and the grading for this correct answer will be 5 points. And here it is. I've made my quiz and I'm going to assign it. The quiz has errors need to be corrected before it can be assigned. Now that was an important thing for me to show you that you will have such issues. We've written fill in the blanks, but it doesn't recognize this. So it is automatically creating uh, the blank. And here it is. We just need to create one blank for it to be. Please fill out all the answers. So we're going to write 1923. And even for this, we're going to have to write the answer so that they can clearly be able to grade it. Okay, now assign to English. Yes, I want to assign it to my English class and I want it due by 8th. By 8th of June, everyone must give it to me. Time limit for attempting the quiz, I'm going to make it 10 minutes. And add to gradebook, yes. Show results to students upon completion, yes. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to assign it, or I can create it at night and schedule it for the next morning as well. In that case, I will be scheduling it from this option right here. Okay. So successfully assigned. The quiz is now available to students to take in their class. Now this is for the English class, assigned to English class. You could be a class teacher of a class and you'd like to do a quiz which is generic, and you can assign it to your English and your math class. That is completely up to you. So I did show you how to create a quiz. Now I'm back here inside my class and I'm going to create an assignment. Here, assignment detail. Please read Catcher in the Rye. At least instructions, at least half the book should be read by Monday. Okay, here, do I want to attach a link? No, I believe they have the book, or I can attach a file or a link. So what I could do is I could go to Google, find a link to the book, a PDF link, and copy paste it here so that maybe they can read it online itself. I'm going to assign this due date. Sorry, I'm going to assign this to my English class. My due date I'm going to set is Monday. Lock after due date. It's not an option after due date. That is for you to decide. Add to gradebook. No, I don't want to add this to gradebook, and I'm going to assign it. You're all catching me. I've been trying to teach you how to create your different classes for a virtual experience for your students. And here it is back here. MakkSkills posted to English. Please read Catcher in the Rye as an assignment. And so far, there's 0 submissions. See, the interface is very simple. As a teacher, you're going to love it. Whether you're educating a class or an institute or students of higher education, it just making everything much simpler. Here is a quiz. 0 questions, 0 submissions on this as well. It says it has 2 questions and it's for 10 minutes. I have written extra information. You must have detailed knowledge about Tagore's poems to be able to attempt that well. It is also coming here. I'm going to go back to Edmodo. I could go on for another hour to teach you, but I'm going to straight away head to groups right now. So under classes on the left, you can see groups. I'm just going to I'm going to click on the 3 dots next to group, and it says create a group. So again, at this point, let's take you back to what a group really is. I'm going to stop the share and share screen to that presentation. Once again, groups are used for any teacher to teach a groups and for teacher collaboration, professional development. Now, this is something that you have to use many times, very often. Principal to teacher interaction. Like I said, if it is that you want to discuss the PR strategy for your college, or it is any topic that has no concern of the students at all, you can create a group. Of course, group can involve students as well, but primarily it is created as an option so that teachers can interact. So you can take 2 students from, for example, a class to add to your group, because if they are from the committee, the organizing committee, it's possible. But primarily, the idea of creating groups is that you have a dedicated space for teachers, professional development, and teacher training, right? You cannot have two groups with the same groups or classes with the same name. That is just a feature in Edmodo in the sense that it doesn't allow you to do that. Coming straight to groups now. Here we are on our screen. So here I was creating a group. My group is going to be called Advertisement of our college courses. Now, this is something that students don't get involved in at all. We must together find innovative ways for our newly created, newly established college to bring in more students. So now this is from the organizing committee, from the committee of the few teachers who started the school, let's say. Grade, do you want to get any grade in it? I could bring in adult education, or I could do none, or I could bring in higher education, or I can pick a range. So let's say because this college is new, I'd like the senior grade students, the higher education to adult education to be a part of this group. I'm okay with that. And I'm going to give a range to this. So I hope you all saw it. I'm going to do it again. Either you can pick one of the options, one of the grades in this if you like them to be a part of it, or I can choose a range. So because I'm talking about expanding the college name, I'd like the much senior students to be a part of it. So I'm going to talk about higher education and adult education and be a part of this. And this is for professional development, sub-subject, anything. Private to all teachers, public to all teachers, private to members, public to school staff. Now, when it says public to school staff, this is going to be a notice board, a format wherein you put in a notice and everybody can see it. Public to district staff, we're not going to reach that right now. Private to members, I'm going to keep it private to members, and I'm going to change the color of this to a red. And here I am, I've created a group. Advertisement for our college courses. I can add an image here if I need to, and here is the group code. Now I'm going to send this to the 7 teachers. I'd like them to be a part of this. Send them this code, or of course, send them an invitation as well. Right click here, go to join by URL, or of course, send them this group code. So sorry. So here I am here in the groups. I can start a conversation here. Let's create some advertising material. It's gone, post, and it has gone to the group. It will show me MakkSkills posted to advertisement of college courses. At any time, I can click on this and see who all belong to this group and who all have already joined in. Right? Okay. I'm going to go back to the home page, which means I'm going to enter college back again, school back again, and I have created a group called Project Media Relations. Okay. Here I'd given the range as 12th grade to adult education. Started this discussion here. Instagram marketing for our college. Let's take the college at Instagram and talk about the various things we do. Everyone must be ready with their projects right now. Let's start sharing and looking at what everyone has got. Now I'm speaking to 12th graders here and to much elder students who are in adult education, college goers, as a part of my institute, and I'd like them to be a part of this project, Media Relations. Once again, you can change the colors of this look. You can change the group color because I have two projects with two groups with the same name. I've changed the color, and back here I am. So primarily what we have learned in Edmodo today, and I'm going back to the homepage to go back to the interface. We've learned how to create a class. We've learned how to invite the right children to our class, who belong to our class. We have also learned how to create a post for them, a poll for them, to create a quiz for all the students who are a part of this class. Also to give them an assignment, to put in a date on the assignment, and then of course to talk about groups. Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to just seeing, there's so many of us, here. I'm going to stop sharing screen for just a moment. I'd like to thank a few people who are here. I see a lot of people have joined in from Jamshedpur. There's someone from Raipur. There's Professor Nisha Gupta. There's Professor Nisha Gupta. The lot of we're so thankful to all of you to have come in for this class. Dr. Anu Sharma, thank you so much. Jessie, Selena, thank you for joining us today. Mercy Joseph, and so many of you, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to do a 1 minute recap of what all we've learned today for you all to see. I'm back here on my Edmodo page. And like I was saying, we've talked about our classes, we've talked about creating groups. And if I feed in my profile, my interest as math or English, I'm going to get popular conversations on that, on my right side of my platform, to understand what is it that internationally everyone's talking about. Also, if there's any post that we do and we put in a hashtag, we can. I'm going to show it to you once again. When Corona vaccine, when will it be here? And I'm going to put a hashtag science right here. The minute I do this, it says visible to your connections or any teacher on Edmodo. When I post this, any teacher who's shown her interest as science is going to be able to see that, which is great because there are some conversations you can take internationally. We are here together. We're more than 200 educators here learning this new platform. We have an international audience here with us today. We've got Dr. Ria joining us from Australia. We've got Bhavna Prasad, who's logged in from the US. Despite all the timing differences, thank you so much for being here. I want to tell you that Edmodo is an international platform. We can use it to connect with teachers internationally. We can use it to understand what's going on in the education space, what other teachers are teaching about, and what all is going on. Easy to send out your quiz, easy to grade. It's a simple platform. You've also seen two things right here, which I haven't discussed with you right now. It's Discover and Library. I'm going to leave you to discover the word Discover on your own. But basically, it is just, it's showing you what all other conversations are going on. There's a collection of social emotional learning, which you as teacher might find it useful. 3,835 teachers find it useful. You might want to view this collection, see if it's making sense to you, if it's interesting for you, and add it to your collection, right? And there are some apps for teaching, Activity Studio, and Next Gen News. So I'm going to leave this for you all to discover. There's also an option of a library. What happens is, me as an English teacher, like here I've uploaded plays by Shakespeare. I can upload many, many such assignments. I can upload a reading material. The one big advantage of Edmodo, to be honest, is that if I'm in a class, if I'm a student, I'm in your English class, I will always have the content that you've given. It will always be available to me. So it doesn't have to be that if I'm not a part of this class, in the sense that once I've got the code, I will always be having access to all the data that has been put in the class. So it's good. People can revisit, students can revisit the content that you have shared. Let's say the school started in, college started in August, and in Jan is when the exam is, and there's some material that everyone wants to refer to, that the teachers already put in. They can always go back to that class and see all the assignments, everything that have been there. Of course, not to the teacher's control, but as a student, they can see all the reading material is available. There's also messages here. If a student has left you a message saying, ma'am, could you please take a private lesson for me, or four of us together want to make a group and we do not understand integration well, or we really want to contribute? We hear that this college is working on Instagram marketing for the entire college. There are 4 names of students we'd like you to participate in. I could take that on and consider if I'd like to add them to the group. So these are messages that come directly to you. You don't have to have, no teacher likes to openly give their phone numbers to all their students. There's always a formal relationship, and to keep that there, they can be messages that can be sent on Edmodo very easily. I'm going to stop the screen sharing right here. I hope you all can see me, and I hope you all have enjoyed this session. We have 2 more days left for this international blended learning. And I'm going to, before I close, I'm going to request Dr. Sangeeta Makar to come and just say a few words. Hello, all. Thank you to start off with to all the lovely participants for the day, for the 3-day international learning, sharing, developing, enriching, evolving, and completely empowering ourselves. MakkSkill has been an endeavor to bring to the nation through you with us in a way to develop it on the need of the time, to be with the times. And what could be a better time than COVID-19, which has anyway taken so much energy of life, of momentum, of complete positivity away from us. But here, together, you and us, put in a spirit that we will go on. We will reinvent. We will create a yet new life for ourselves. COVID virus can probably put us back in time for a little while, but it cannot defeat us by the blessings of God. So thank you for one and all who's joined us in journey of moving further in spite of whatever limitations life puts on us sometimes. But the spirit always says never die, and we rise instead of all the challenges. So I'm sure along with Ruchi ma'am, you had a great learning on this today's session of Edmodo. It is a distance learning, setting up a complete school for yourself. There are various platforms. Edmodo is one of the many ones which have been established and found a very good system to go by on a virtual network. While maybe when the lockdown is all over and done and finished after a staggered momentum, perhaps you will have a parallel system in which maybe some of your classes, as in Mumbai, our university tells us, Mumbai University, that 30-70, the lecture are going to be divided 30% online. They are encouraged, all the professors to take, and 70% in physical presence, as and when the lockdown is taken out and the educational institutes open up. So while that has yet to come, this is a time we use our best time, best foot forward to put up the skills and do the skilling for ourselves. Atmanirbhar, our own skilling, our own empowerment, and being reliant on our own self is a need of the hour, which is a clarion call by our PM2. So moving on, let me congratulate you. You already are on that journey, which needed by everyone in the country. You already have started that journey. So hearty congratulations to all. I can see amongst you many of our students who were there in the last 1 week class that we had 1 week all over India. We had, I can see Professor Mahmood over there smiling away, and many more people, Komal, Irshad, Mr. I saw Hemlata, and I think Mr. Gaur as well, Dr. Principal Kangaro. So many of you who did our 1 week training, and we had the voice training for the teachers, and of course the teacher training for 3 days, in which we had 12,500 teachers from all over India joining. We had students, in which we had almost 22 students joining us for the training. But nevertheless, here we are, all of us together. And I would like to inform you what is expected once this session gets over. First thing first, there are some people out of you who have been calling us since morning, and they wanted to join the session, and they have joined in today a little late. And there are still many, we have been getting constant calls, who still want to join these 3 days training. And since we started, so we said, okay, what we are going to do, and it could be a benefit to you also, we are going to continue this what day we have taught today, Edmodo. We are going to do one same session again on Wednesday. I repeat, for those who joined in late today, because we just took the registration today morning, and for those who are still calling us, while the session was all, I think I got as many calls and requests. So what we have decided, the next training, after we finish the Monday and Tuesday, we will take one more session for everybody, and you can also benefit by redoing it on Wednesday. All right, the upcoming Wednesday, the next week. So in case some of your colleagues, friends who want to join it but have not been able to join because we started, are welcome to get in touch, as much as others who have reported to us today. So that's one announcement. Second,
Since we truly believe in quality teaching and not give the session for the heck of doing it, for the simply because you have taken a tutorial and we must do it. We truly believe in a interaction and true learning at your end, and through we also learn, we evolve, and you also, we hope, equally benefit. So there's a system we follow. So what happens is, after every session, there is an assignment that is sent on your groups, the WhatsApp groups or the Telegram group that you are in. So I suggest, make sure anybody who has taken registration confirmed from us is definitely a part of these WhatsApp groups or a Telegram group. In case if you are not for some reason, you are welcome to reach out to us so that we can link you over there. Every day after the session, in next 2 hours, receive a link from us, which will be a feedback, attendance, and a assignment link. All right, so that's very important. And the assignment link has to be submitted by the next day morning till 12 p.m. next day. You have the whole day, whole night, and next half day available to complete. So that's point one, so that we ensure you have learned. And there will be questions. I can understand some of you told us that network is weak. Very understandable. We fully go by you and want to help you and reach out to you. So every time after the session, we put the recording on YouTube. Exactly the session what you have been with us, the recording is put on the YouTube. For the assignment, I suggest you can open the YouTube, watch it if you need to. If you already know the answers, perfect. If you do not, you want to redo the assignment, well, and you must clear the assignment, very important. So you can, the YouTube video can help you complete your assignment and mail us back. On that link, send us back. That's one. So all the 3 days, you'll be getting one assignment. And on the final day, there will be a test from all the 3 days that we have taken sessions. All there'll be a final test which has to be cleared compulsorily by all of you. Okay, so there'll be a certain protocol to be followed. You will be expected to follow that and complete your test. Based on what will you get your certificates? Since I said we definitely believe in a very high quality teaching, recently, just I think on Sunday, we had a open session for all participants. We had 3,200 or 3,000, I think 250 participants from all over India. And it was a session which was done by a very senior faculty who's very passionate about teaching, but is a CEO of a very branded corporate group. So when we try to bring in the best, we definitely expect the best from you. So you'll have to take the trouble when you're joining our courses. We ensure that we try to enable you that after our course, you can either do two of the things. In the institute that you go back, the college, the school, the kindergarten, the tutorial classes, whatever you're teaching, you can start teaching online for them. So your principal or the management is really glad that, wow, my faculty is really independent and on the digital mode. Secondly, what else you can do is an amazing thing. You can start your own teaching classes as well, whichever subject you could be good in. I have one of my very good friends who's an engineer, and he does IoT. We are friends together, and he takes independent, after taking the training with us for one of the earlier classes sessions. He took 3-4 sessions with us continuously to understand all the systems. And now he started all about IoT, Python, Java classes on virtual teaching platforms. And I'm sure each one of you, whether you're a music teacher or whether you're an art teacher or whether you're a science professor or a social science professor, whichever subject left to you, how well you adapt all these learnings and create an amazing platform to reach out to students who are not only in your city, not only your college or school, not only in your community, not only your district or India, but all over the global world. The world is your player. You are open to have students. Like today, we have a couple of students from Australia, some from Netherlands. So it's open to you how well you are good as a teacher to deliver, how strong you have a forte with your subject. And yes, Namita, good to see you over there. So it's very nice that all of you are so enriched and taken the step to come on this learning platform. So after learning from here, practice a little more, join as much learning if you want, and start your own sessions. Not only it's a forte fulfillment. Definitely, it's another way to trying to empower people across the country, across the world. And definitely for those who will be valuable teaching, they will be looked and sought after. People will come looking for you. Initially, you will have to do a little hard work of trying to reach. Soon, you will establish yourself and brand yourself as a good system and a good teacher. And people will say, I want to learn from Dheeraj Kumar. I want to learn from Jerome Silva. I want to learn from Professor Mahmood, or I want to learn from Prakash and Dr. Irshad and Shahid Hussain and Kapilesh, Kishore Sonamne, Dr. Janak Kumari, all you people, Dr. Romita Devi is here with us. People will come looking for you once they know you are as good and strong with your systems. So feel free to empower, to become the branded teacher. It's not important to be a teacher, and it's not important to be a good teacher. But in today's time, when the digital mode is strong, you need to be a branded digital teacher as well. So this is what is our endeavor, our effort to bring the systems to you. And then it is left to you, my dear friends. You use your creativity, your subject, get your well versed and use the system what you are learning along with our sessions. As many we will have continuous sessions. As I said, we did teachers training 12,000. We just did a 1 week course for all people, and a lot of Jammu Kashmir people, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. I mean, there were a whole lot of, I think, 480 people with professors with us, principals and college teachers and school teachers. So it's left to you. Develop. Dr. Deen Mohammed, I'm very happy to see you. So many of I can see those are still continuing from our earlier classes as well. Fantastic. It really makes us feel good that you are taking the trouble to empower none other but you own self. Meenu Juneja, Shobha, Puneet Makar, Dr. Mehra, fantastic. It's really good. Dr. Anu Sharma, and so on. So that's for from me at this end. We'll be sending out the assignment to you in next 2 hours. Make sure the feedback, attendance, and assignment is completed and mailed to us by 12 p.m. tomorrow, not after that because the link closes. Every day you can expect it. On Wednesday, we'll have a repeat of Edmodo for the benefit of people who joined in late today, or for benefit those who are yet calling us continuously and they want to join the sessions. You are free to reach out to your colleagues, your friends who may be interested, get them at board. I truly believe in fact, we at MakkSkills truly believe it's never a I win. It's never I win. It's always today the system is we win. Together, you and we win. So the win-win situation, not I win and you don't win. So when we can't say, oh, I will teach, learn everything, but I'll not let my friend or my colleague, it doesn't help like that. The more we share, the more we extend, the collaborative system is what helps all of us grow well. So over to signing off. Thank you for being here today. I'm sure it's going to be very fruitful. Learning Edmodo. Will soon be also be starting classes at the next upcoming after the series. We'll be having PowerPoint special ways to use your PowerPoint. We are bringing into you video editing. We are bringing into you making a movie on your phone, mobile, and editing it well. We are bringing to you. We have courses on research as well. How to have a good research methodology, hypothesis testing, bibliometrics. There's so many more courses we have. We have a lovely course going on graphic designing as well. Those who want to learn graphic designing, because that's another one very strong. Designing is a big thing happening all over. So there are a lot of things. You're more than welcome to get in touch with us. Would you want to join other courses with us, or would you or your institute is motivated to conduct courses for you, your whole faculty, or within your city, other institutes as well. There are many options we can work towards. Our aim is to ensure you and we are in a win-win situation, develop, empower, evolve, and enrich. Thank you. Be safe, be healthy. Namaste.